Also a staunch supporter of our military, our veterans, and our veterans' families. We are honored to have her leading Libertyville today as our greatest advocate. I present you Mayor Johnson.
Good morning, everyone. It's wonderful. Thank you for joining us, and for those 5 years ago that sought to respond to my challenge of saying that patriotism is something that we nurture and pour into the souls of our children and our neighbors. And one of the things I challenged you all with was to say, bring the young children here. They cannot learn to be patriotic and understand the value of this great nation without being surrounded by milestones and occasions like this, and understanding those who went before them and made the ultimate sacrifice. So thank you so much for taking up that challenge. I like seeing Cook Park field today, and I love being surrounded by the American flag. First of all, as you all know, Memorial Day is the day that we honor the families and the fallen heroes who have died in service to our country. Memorial Day honors the cost of freedom. Emphasis on the word cost of freedom. They gave their lives for that cost. And what we want that to do is to encourage us today to reflect on the fallen heroes sacrificing their lives in defending our freedoms, their freedoms, the freedoms of other nations, and shaping this wonderful human story called America. As we struggle today with world challenges, and we have many, I ask you to remember their sacrifice. These fallen heroes believed in the promise and potential of America. Many of you will look around and say, as I do sometimes, where is the hope? Where is the inspiration? Have people lost their way? What has happened to the commitment? Well, today's like this reminds us there's always hope. Because if there wasn't hope and we weren't committed to America's promise, these fallen heroes we honor today will have died in vain. So it's their inspiration, their passion, their commitment to make the ultimate sacrifice that we must reflect on every time we're inclined to feel despair. Know that these are the people that made the true sacrifice. So it's my hope that in honoring their memories today, it demonstrates to all in attendance that we as Americans are a product of our values. Never forget that. Values is what makes us who we are. It's the core of who we are. And that's the message we want to send to our children and the next generation. Those values are at the soul of who we are. As we made the Pledge of Allegiance this morning, we haven't indoctrinated our children like we did in previous generations, that we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. That is the promise, that is the commitment, that is the prospect. And I never want us, when we leave here today, to forget that promise. It's those values, those core values about America that inspired the commitment for the fallen heroes to join, to go and defend us, and to make the ultimate sacrifice without question. Those heroes mean so much. And don't forget the red poppy. When you go to Ace Hardware and other areas where people are raising funds to help veterans in their causes, the red poppy represents, it's a symbol of remembrance. And that's what today is. Remembering their memories so they will never be forgotten, and that the eternal flame that died with them, but not their memory, still forges forward the promise and prospect of America. So let's pause for a moment Those of you who are here, Gold Star families, family members that have had people pass on, that gave the ultimate sacrifice, we never want their names to be forgotten. This is the day where you say their name out loud. When you say their name out loud, you honor their memory, you continue to keep them alive. And so we ask right now that each of you recite and say out loud the names of those that were near and dear to you that have fallen today. And I will add to that for Libertyville, as I do every year. In 2004, Wellesley R. Wells, a Libertyville resident, made the ultimate sacrifice. And so I say his name out loud. I say my father's name out loud. Navy World War II vet, drove PT boats during the crisis. Please say their names so they are never forgotten.
Don Eggert, Jack Holzer.
And with that, we also want to thank the people behind the scenes that make this day possible. Ace Hardware on 137, they always step up to support Memorial Day and the veterans. The flags that you see here that we distribute, those are donated by Ace Hardware. They also donate gift cards. Local small businesses that have a commitment to the community and to the veterans and their memories. We want to thank Ace Hardware for their continued support. We also want to thank, and it's part of my staff that I am so very, very proud of, the honor guards from the fire station and the honor guards from the police station. They're seated to our right. Don't they look fabulous? Don't they represent us so well? And Rick Navarro, who's head of the American Legion, he and his staff and people do so much to continue to have a place for veterans to come and be acknowledged, and just what they do to facilitate and support with the village, putting together this program every year so that we ensure that our fallen heroes are not forgotten. But last but certainly not least, every veteran that's here today, and specifically those that are seated in front of me who have participated in prior wars, I say to you, some wounds are not visible. Some wounds are invisible. I do not want to get emotional when I say that, but thank you so much for your dedication to the country, to the promise of America, and the fact that every day you were willing to make that sacrifice, even though it came at a great cost. Thank you all, and let's applaud our veterans that are here. And just something I'll conclude with. Even though everything is not perfect in America based on some people's standards, we're still the greatest country in the globe. Everybody is trying to come to America to realize their dreams and their promises. So what does that say? That even when we have things to work on, we're still the greatest option available. And I want you to remember as you leave, and I want you to impart this to your children, what makes it the great promise of America and what makes us the greatest country there, it is our values. We are a country with people with moral focus and compass. Don't forget that. Don't forget, if you ever in doubt, the promise and commitment that these military veterans, the fallen heroes, made in order to continue with that promise. I am a person of quotes, and I'm going to leave you with two indelible ones. And parents, educate your young people on who these people are, because I know many of them won't know who they are. Harry Truman had a great quote. that I always love in moments like these. Our debt to the heroic men and women in the service of our country can never, emphasis on never, be repaid. To their parents, families, and generations of people that still remember those who gave their lives, that sacrifice can never be repaid. Harry Truman. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, World War II era. Those who have long enjoyed such privileges as we all enjoy today in the United States forget in time that men have died to win these privileges. That includes our freedom. So when you say, I'm disappointed, I'm ready to give up, people gave their lives for that promise and their commitment. So how dare we even say that we're still alive, breathing, and enjoying the freedoms that we're ready to give up? Never give up. This is the greatest nation in the world. So with that, God bless the memories of the fallen. God bless those veterans who are here today and their families. But more importantly, God bless America and God bless these United States. And thank you for the honor of participating and honoring their memory today.